Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenst. Now, what really happened in this fight? A quick 20-second knockout was all it took for the Predator to put Biggie Boy out cold, sleeping against the cage. Initially in the fight, Rozenst went to make it more of a kickboxing bout, a back and forth in the center of the cage, answering Ngannou for his mistakes. And it started to happen with the leg kick. So Ngannou came out there looking for his opening. He was being very patient, threw out some jabs, which Jairzinho very quickly parried and answered with an inside leg kick. But notice that the jabs Ngannou was actually just to measure. He wasn't trying to hurt Rozenst or land with any kind of damage. They were just measuring jabs. And that is what caused him to throw that big right overhand. So he went for a jab, but he went into the body instead because Rozenst was moving his head away from the jab as well as he's parrying. The body wasn't moving that much, so he went to the body, and also Ngannou is trying to get his punch under the parry, so he knows that the jabs to the head are getting parried, so it goes to the body. Rozenst goes to parry the jab, but his hand floats above it, missing, and ultimately this could put him in risk of getting caught by the right overhand. Mixing up the body to the headshot, and it just misses very slightly. This could have been done 15 seconds in the fight rather than 20. But Rozenst was very quick to lean away from the punch, and he actually counters Ngannou. Notice the sequence here. So he's going to counter Ngannou twice. Once behind the ear with a big left hook, which actually whiplashes Ngannou's head a bit, but he is just a juggernaut. He's just a tank. Eats it and continues his attack. The fact that he missed this punch like this, it most likely put him in a more uncomfortable position where he tried to flurry his way to a finish or flurry his way to hurt his opponent, rather than doing what he was just doing beforehand, and that was measuring and then went for the body-head combination. So Rozenst lands the left hook, and then he also combos with the inside leg kick as he's moving away. This is actually very impressive for a heavyweight to do, but then Ngannou's trying to answer back with a big looping left hook, which just misses as well. And the reason why this one misses is because Biggie Boy is switching backwards. When you switch backwards, it's almost like moving backwards. Your positioning mirrors as well as moves away from your initial position. And with that, he counters Ngannou again as Ngannou's trying to go left, right, left. He goes for a big right hook and he counters him with a right hook to the jaw, which this one not as powerful. It lands with more of the thumb area, but regardless, Ngannou's moving his head into these strikes and he's just eating them. Like I said before in previous videos, Ngannou has the best chin I've ever seen out of any MMA fighter. Rozenst has legit knockout power, one of the most powerful guys in the UFC right now. Even though getting countered behind the ear, which is an equilibrium shot, usually shuts down opponents, after eating that and then one to the jaw while moving forward and not even seeing the punches, he's just eating them. It's crazy to see this, but this position is where Rozenst gets in trouble. So Ngannou gets into a parallel stance and he's a little bit closer to Rozenst this time than his previous position, right? Notice how close he is to the front leg of Rozenst. He is close enough to land a punch here while moving forward, and Rozenst makes the error of switching again because the right hand just came from Ngannou. What tells you this, his left hand is going to come next. And Rozenst, if he's going to switch backwards from the southpaw position, he's going to move into orthodox, which opens him up even more for the left hand. A more strategic play here would be to shuffle away or fade out that same direction. Fade out to the left, not to the right where you're open up for the left hand again. And he tries the same thing and goes for the counter left hook. His counter is not able to come because Ngannou's already attacking first. He's getting to there first, so he's going to land first and lands clean as ever with that left hook and puts Rozenst out. The follow-up shots are just insult to injury. For Rozenst's sake, Dan Miragliotta got in there as quickly as possible. He doesn't want to be too close when those telephone poles are getting thrown out there. Charged right in, saved Rozenst. So it's a great performance for Francis Ngannou. A 20-second knockout is his fastest knockout in the UFC, and he did it against Rozenst, a very credible opponent who's a pro kickboxer with over 80 professional fights. And Ngannou is one of the least experienced martial artists in the heavyweight division, but man, when the power just comes in, when the ferocity and the ability to withstand any kind of damage plays into a fight, it's very hard to get above those attributes without playing the fight perfectly. Now, what happens here? Stipe's activity is unknown, and I'm pretty sure Daniel Cormier said that he will only want to fight Stipe. If Stipe's out long enough, Ngannou should be crowned the interim champion at the very least. There should be no one else he should be fighting other than Stipe. That's it. Not even DC at this point, I believe. He has to fight Stipe Miocic for the actual belt. There is nobody else for him to fight. He's the #1 contender, and if Stipe's gone long enough, he should be rightfully crowned at least the interim champion. So I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. If you did, make sure to give a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe. And there are a couple more coming up next. Be on the lookout for those.